exactly like the title said, this video is going to be all about how to find signals amongst the noise. So before we get into the video and the actual meat of the video, we need to first define exactly what I'm talking about when I say signals and when I use the term noise. So noise, I signify by talking about all of the different information that you may see across the vast amount of the internet. So obviously you've got many gurus, many professionals, many people sharing different tips, tricks, tactics, strategies, and everything else. So where you find all of those people sharing all of that information, it's quite hard to see whose information is true. Now, a majority of them may be true, but obviously you really have to put that to the test. But then at the same time, it's like, do you really have time to test every single person's information to see exactly what's true and what isn't? Well, if you don't, then obviously there's a method that you can really take from this video to find all of the people who are really giving the signals amongst the noise. So when we talk about signals, we're talking about the correct information, the true information. The signal is the actual direction that you need to be going in, but the noise is what surrounds the signal and almost blinds you to exactly where you need to be going. So a way of actually training your brain to find that information accurately is by using the methods that I'll be discussing in this video. Okay, so I've actually got a few notes down here as well. So the first things first, and if you're like looking for any type of information, you always want to find someone that's ahead of you of wherever it is you're trying to get. So I always use the term, which I don't hope to offend anyone here, but you wouldn't ask a fat person how to lose weight, even if they did have good tactics, because there's going to be certain elements of that person that they just don't like. There's going to be certain aspects of that person, that are just not 100% accurate. Even if it's something to do with their mentality and mindset of how they get up or what things they choose to eat and the reasons behind why they eat certain things and whatever. There's always going to be some type of flaws. Now you might laugh at that example, but the reason you might laugh at it is because it's so stupid and stupidly obvious. But it's the same exact way in business, but you might not see it as clearly in business. So when you go to, say, for example, someone who's very unsuccessful or has no real valid information and try to get information out of them, it's almost as silly as asking the fat person how to lose some weight. So anyway, so what you need to do first of all is set your vision and mission. So you really need to define exactly where you're trying to go. So this is one of the hardest things when you start out, because like you don't exactly know what avenue you're going to take or whatever else. So I always say set the things that you are hoping to achieve as a result of certain actions that you can take. So if you're trying to like help your family, or trying to buy a house abroad, or trying to buy a house where you live in your current country or area, location, or if it's like a monetary goal, whatever, or if it's everything combined, define that of what you'll be satisfied with, and then set different milestones for each specific goal that you'd like to achieve. Now these are all result-based goals, or we could put it into a more sort of familiar term, which is an objective. These are just objectives, so they're not exactly what you'll be looking at every single minute of the day. More so, it's something that you'll hover over before going to work each day as a reminder. So obviously you'll have your action-based goals, so those are the things that you're going to do every single day to get you those results for that particular objective. So anyway, if we're talking about like goal setting for, business or whatever else, you might have a goal to hit 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. So your action-based goal could be, okay, well, to work out on average, how many subscribers do you gain and what type of momentum does that build for your channel if you publish 3 videos per week? So after figuring that out, and there's tools like Social Blade, which can show you the potential projection of your channel based on the growth at the moment, you can see, oh, well, if I continue at this rate, this is the potential of how much I'll be growing in 6 months. So it might be like 2 people a day now, but then, 200 people a day in 6 months if you continue at the rate. So being able to define that is very important, because then you can almost reverse engineer the whole method and figure out what you need to be doing now that ties into that ultimate goal that you're trying to get to. Okay, so always look at the people who are ahead of you in that sense. Okay, and if you want to define exactly who is ahead of you, just go and start YouTubing and Googling. Do a bit of research, do your homework, and you'll find easily who's exactly just ahead of you or a little bit ahead of you in the field that you're trying to sort of accomplish some sort of success in. Okay, so now a way to find the signals amongst the noise is always look at what people do and forget about what they say. So talk is cheap, and we all know that. I could be talking, I could be telling you information that could be irrelevant, relevant, who cares? It all matters about what I do. What is it that I'm evidently showing you that I'm doing that is potentially proving to you that I know what I'm talking about? Now, right now across my channel, to be completely honest, there's nothing evidential apart from me attempting to do something. So obviously that's the way I portray myself, and I attempt to. If you've been falsely advertised to or informed in that sense, then I'm sorry if it came across in that way. But this channel is purely for me documenting my journey as a beginner trying to get to a certain milestone. So that's what I actually have in sort of, an idea or concept for this channel. And that's the type of person I want to reach out to. So my target demographic is people who are beginners. Anyone, it doesn't matter what age, sex, gender, whatever it is, it doesn't matter, because I'm just trying to reach out to people who are at the same point as me, who just want a friendly helping hand or someone relatable to show them exactly how it's going for them. And I know I've got a hell of a lot of drive, and also I take a hell of a lot of action. So I'll definitely be an example that I can set, obviously, and show others through my progression. So that's what I aim to showcase on this channel. Okay. Now, what you need to do when you find someone that you think is the real deal. So obviously this could be things as petty. It could be petty, but it could be like you're looking for them to show you an income report. So you want them to log into their PayPal and show you how much money they're making. Or you want to see evidently, a testimonial from someone that is credible, that has taken their course and had success. Someone that you can reach out to. Are they providing you access to an email, a phone number, or something, a Facebook name, of where you could potentially contact that person and be like, oh, how did this go for you? Is this true? Is this person the real deal? All of that. Now, this might seem a bit exaggerated, but when you think about it, if this is going to shave off 5 years of wasted time, how valuable is it to you? So are you willing to put that work in on the front end to save yourself time later on? I definitely personally would. I don't know about you. So you need to basically test all the information that person then provides you. So if the person's providing you a lot of information on different aspects of the business that you're trying to succeed in, then you need to go out and actually do it. It's always great of listening to all these different people and taking in different information, but if you are not putting any of it to work and giving it time to work, then you're really not doing a great job at being a student. Because don't forget, they can be the greatest teacher in the world, but if you're not the greatest student, it means nothing. And when we know that there's such a high failure rate online, you really need to just stick things through. You need to stick it and see it through. Don't just give up. Don't just kind of just start it and then quit, just like your last attempt at gym or whatever else. Stick this through, give it a go, and really see it through to the end. Only then can you really see of whether it's a success or a failure, but you need to really give it the chance to do so. Okay? When you find those people now, you really need to cut out the distractions. So that means if you're focused on my channel and what I'm sharing, and it's just something that's kind of relatable to you, then cut the other people out. If it's within that industry, if you've got someone who's above you, ahead of you, and you've got that person, cut everyone else out and stick to that person. Have me, if you had me as just a relatable character, keep me and everyone else out. Don't have me and 10 other people giving you all different information about how their journey's going, because although all of these methods might potentially work, you need to follow it solely specifically to how that person's informing you for it to actually see any type of results. It's always a great example that I provide with things like when your mother might talk about, you know, a recipe that she put together. So if you was learning how to bake a cake or something and you asked your mum or your grandma or whatever, you wouldn't go off then and be like, oh, grandma, actually, I'm going to go and mix that with Jamie Oliver's new recipe. You just wouldn't. Like, you would just follow it, because you know that if you do it that way, the actual cake is not going to taste the same way that grandma makes it. So exactly the same way, your business will not be the same as this person is telling you if you go in and you tweak things and you change things and whatever else. Now, you can obviously make an exception for things like when you're improvising and you're adding your own sort of twist to things and putting your own spin on things, which is always a great way. But tarnishing the brush and actually, you know, coming in and changing it with other people's strategies and methods is always going to have a bad knock-on effect. Okay, now I've got the last note here. So it's just purely to gain focus. And the only way you can gain focus is through eliminating distraction. So you need to take away distraction in regards to getting focus. So many people think you can do both. You cannot do both. It's not physically or scientifically possible to do focus and distraction. It's like if I put this in front of the camera, you can't see me, so you can't focus on me if I'm doing that. So that's the same way that the notifications on your phone are working. When you're looking at the screen and you're sort of having this foggy mindset of where you think that you're focused and you're like, oh yeah, I'm just kind of focused, and then you're looking at this, but it's not that you're just looking at this and then you're going back to the task, because all you're doing is kind of trying to train yourself to do two things at once, which your brain is not built to do. So we're built to focus on one thing, and that's so important when you're trying to target or attack a big goal over a long period of time. So the more you train yourself to do two things at once, the less successful you're going to be, and that's a fact, guaranteed. You can go test that anywhere. And what it is you don't want this foggy type of mentality of things like smoke coming in front of the lighthouse, just like you saw on the thumbnail. You don't want it. You want it a nice clear view, and you want to be able to focus on one thing and really build up that compound effect to really get you the positive feedback loops or the momentum to get to your goal faster and more effectively. Okay, so that is the method inside of this video, and that's the concept I want you to take away. Really hone in on the focus, eliminate the distractions. So that means eliminating people who are irrelevant. If you had to select one person to teach you SEO, who is it? If you had one person to be relatable, who is it? If you had one person that was going to teach you email marketing, who's that person? Who's the person? And just have those people. And personally, I wouldn't even I've cut my subscribers down on YouTube. I think I'm only subscribed to like 6 people, something like that. I've got one guy who's Mike Maloney for investing in gold and silver. I've got Sam Ovens for mindset. I've got Russell Brunson for funnels. I've got, who else? I can't even remember because I only view like a few people. There's only a few. I've got Income School, for SEO, and I don't even, Income School for blog sites. But the thing is, like, I don't even, to be fair, watch their videos like that. I kind of find them more entertaining, but the main focus for me right now is Franklin Hatchett's course, because that's the course I'm in. So that's what I refer to when I'm trying to get information out. But yeah, that is it. Honestly, that is what I would recommend. Like, if you're going to sort of, you know, get any real success fast, it's all about getting the right focus, and you need to be focused. And the way you can do that is by just taking away everything that's in the way. Okay, so if you think that you've been doing, you know, both, just completely rethink that, recalculate your approach to things, because it's not physically or scientifically possible for you to do both. If you are not focused, like I said right now, you're only distracted. When you remove that away, you're left nothing but a narrow straight path to focus on exactly my pretty face or anything else that you're working on. And that's about it, guys. Okay, so if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like just below, and also subscribe for more videos just like this. Work rate's been very high today. I've pushed out 3 videos, and that's just to compensate for the time missed over the last week or so. But make sure you stay tuned for the new videos coming out. I've got some great content coming up for you guys. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.